Hey everybody, this is Jada on piano where we make music make sense. And today you don't see my face. This is a totally different type of video. But as you can see, I've pulled up my ridiculous browser. I'm not using my Chordy or anything. I'm using ridiculous today because I want to talk about a different thing, a different concept related to inversions and voicings to feed off of and kind of build off of what we talked about last week. And before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you like this kind of stuff. So let me jump right in. I saw a meme. I'm going to show you this meme right here. So let me set up my screen a little better so we can see it. I saw this. We can attribute it to Giovanni All Heavy. So that says right there. But it's kind of funny, kind of humorous, but it has a lot of relevance to music. So let me talk about it a little bit. If you're wondering what this is, this pre-COVID over here is showing a C major chord. All of them are showing C major chords, only 3 notes each chord. Pre-COVID is showing us, and these are the 3 notes that it's showing us: the C, the E, E, and then the G. The next one is showing us, but instead of, and these are all on the same staff, right? On the same area of staff. But during the lockdown, as we see, we're looking at during the lockdown, we see a C, then we see an E, and then we see a G. Difference being is we see three different staves here, not just staffs, but staves, and we'll talk about those differences in a second. And then after reopening, it says C. The C is here. Then it's got a G here. And then it's got the E here. Notice that they are socially distanced. Now, we can find those kind of things to have some, relevant implications regardless of you agree with social distancing or not. We're not here for that, but they have some musical relevance. And so I'm going to ask a simple question. Should your chords social distance? Now, let's get on with it. Let me show you what MIDI I have here. I have piano closed position. So all of these chords are going to be like this one here. This is in root position. And I played a simple 1, 4, 5, 1. Every example you're going to hear is 1, 4, 5, 1. This is with the piano. You see that? Now that's real simple like, okay? We've heard that type of thing before. Now I'm excited about this, so let me do something different. Let me go back to my contact instrument. It's going to pull it up, and for these in 3 houses, let me show you what I'm going to grab. Session strings 2. Yes, this is full contact library, and here we go. We got some strings. Now check this out, what we have here. I'm going to play it real quick. Okay, that was the strings. Now, what was the difference? It was the same exact notes, but in this case, I did cheat a little bit. Instead of leaving that as a middle C, I dropped it down because I wanted to hear the differences. And they are in their own houses. This G up here was a violin, this E was a cello, and this C down here is in the double bass. And that's why I dropped it down another octave so that you could hear that difference. We're going to talk about why in a second. Now let me change contact instruments one more time. There we go. I can just pull it up like that. Okay. And this time I'm going to choose, let me close this one out. I'm going to choose a simple instrument here, an electric piano. Okay, got that. And then I'm going to go here like this, electric piano, and listen to this one. Okay, notice those notes were, I started with these exact notes right here, C, G, and E, and then I and then I went C, A, and F. So I kept it, nice and open for my 4 chord, kept it nice and open for my 5, B, G, D, and then back to the C, G, and E. Right? So once again, we're back on one stave. Now, why is all of this important? Okay. The reason this is important because we can get different voices in our music. We need to be intentional about what we're choosing to play. We can keep things right here. That's root position. And remember we talked about the inversions, right? We talked about those too, but beyond just inversions, an instrument like the organ is something that you could see as an example during the lockdown here. Something they have to think about very consciously. Where do I want the C in the chord? Where do I want the G in the chord, etc. So it's not just, playing those 3 notes. And it doesn't even have to be complicated. Like, again, this is just 3 notes. Instead of this C, G, and E, we could easily put this E at the bottom. And that would be more of a drop too, the after reopen. That's, by the way, if we didn't understand this chord here, this is the socially distanced chord. Um, so if you like that nice open feel, the open sound, the more of a, this is also, this is also socially distanced in a way. There we go. That's a drop too, because we pulled the E out of the middle and dropped it. The other time we raised it, right? So, or you could say it's a drop 2 from the second inversion, because that's like there, and then we drop this here. So, either way you want to look at it, it's a drop 2 if it's in a C chord in second inversion, but either way, you can drop 2 from the root as well. So, I'm just saying, should you socially distance your chord? If you like that nice open sound, go ahead and space them out during this while we're separated, while we're a little bit farther apart, but still in the same area. We don't have to be in lockdown anymore and use all different instruments at different times, and have latency issues and all those different things. This is just showing you, even if we are separate, if we have to be separate, we can still make great music because we have unique individual sounds, and those deserve to be highlighted as just as important as closed position chords when everybody was together. Everybody's in their own house over here, with the string family. That's why I chose those instruments. Then, over here after reopening, now we're socially distanced. So you got options. Music gives you options. Take those options. You don't always have to play everything you play the same way every time. Look at what we've got over here. One chord, literally, this is one chord show. Now, I played 4, a 1 chord, a 4 chord, and a 5 chord, back to the 1. But this illustration is literally just showing us one chord, right? And in that one chord, we look at 3 different versions. I showed you an extra one. One, here's the extra one. We could have taken this note down instead of up. Would have given us yet a different sound. It depends on what note you need at the top of the chord. We can take this and make it first inversion. We could have made this first inversion as well. So, you have these options, depending on your context. Don't forget that as you're playing. Don't forget that as you're writing and composing and arranging as well. So, you have options. What are you choosing to do? Now, here's what I'm really getting at. Um, Notice how each one of those I stayed with the theme that started. So these were like the ones I just played. All of them, right? All of them nice and open. But when I had the piano, all of them were closed. When I had the strings, they each stayed with their string family while I was playing those chords. So, you know, again, just be intentional. Use the instruments that you need. Use the ones you have, whatever the case may be, and experiment. I've been telling people lately, experiment with the sound of your chords. You still have the same, using the same ones, but now you're just using them different ways. Get comfortable with the sound of each chord. Take this to different keys. Play around with it so you can hear the different sounds, the different timbres of instrument and all that. Um, Again, this was a little different video, had a little humor that was brought up, but it was great for showing us that we could do different things with one chord. Okay, I didn't even show anything about minor chords, but they could be done the same way. Um, all your chords can be like this. So I'm asking again, should your chords socially distance? That's for you to decide. Let me know in the comments if you like those socially distanced chords. Um, Take care, be blessed, happy practicing, and stay safe out there.